It is the story of an ex-writer, ex-producer, ex-creator scorned. Beau DeMayo has had enough with Marvel, and he is burning down every bridge in sight. And yet, it's all right with the rest of Hollywood. They'll still hire him. And that's in stark contrast to how they treated Gina Carano, who did far less. But does Beau DeMayo have a point? And has he pointed out the extreme flaw at Disney that, according to him, killed the Blade movie? Welcome, folks. Welcome one and all. It is a great day, and we are happy you have come our way. An attitude of gratitude every time you do so. Our job, of course, is to explain entertainment, keep you ahead of the culture curve with videos of excellence 4 times a day. Folks, we'll get started. Click the like button. We'll dive in. Tom Connor of Midnight's Edge has fantastic analysis you need to hear right here, right now. Take a look at this. This is something to see. Beau DeMayo, who is the writer, the creator, the producer extraordinaire for X-Men 97, also runs a Bonely fans page, says, #Blade is quite simple. Marvel Studios has racially problematic execs who did not protect their black talent or POVs. And in one case, outside of my own, fired a black female after a top crew lead threw their work across the room and shouted, "This is why I hate working with women." This was relayed to me by a black assistant who was scared. Marvel took no action and was relayed by me to an exec who has since been let go. On September 6, 2023, at a brewery off Alameda Boulevard near the studio, along with me reporting black assistants being mocked and my own race and body being mocked by execs on the project, which then kickstarted Marvel's retaliation campaign against me. So Beau DeMayo now is out there saying that the reason that he was let go ceremoniously just prior to the premiere of X-Men 97 in a very shameful kind of way, not to the level of Gina, is because he reported harassment. Do I understand this correctly? This is what Beau DeMayo is going with. Folks, this is getting ugly, and it is getting ugly fast. From thatparkplace.com, X-Men 97 creator continues to battle Marvel, and Kevin Feige claims Disney is rewriting history and stealing credit. Yeah, this is not the same story. This continues on because you see X-Men 97 creator Beau DeMayo is now claiming at WonderCon 2025 that Marvel is stealing credit from people who actually made the things that have been successful. This is incredible. He says Jake Castorena had nothing to do with the writing of X-Men 97, which makes him writing the foreword to the upcoming making of book even more baffling to me. The only director who ever got a line in a script was Chase Conley. Minds are far harder to bend than metal. Beau DeMayo is on a bridge burning mission. I can't tell you whether or not it's warranted. I can't tell you whether or not Marvel is a hive of villainy, but I find this is immensely interesting that the MCU, according to Beau DeMayo, has been being driven not by virtue signalers who make virtue signaling material, not by people who care about women and crafted forth the MCU, but rather by misogynistic racists. That's what Beau DeMayo is claiming. And yet, panel, Beau DeMayo can still get work. Gina Carano can't. Make it make sense, please.
Well, I believe him. And here's why I believe him, because I am actually not surprised that you're telling me that the people that were virtue signaling and pushing for all this bull crap for all these years are just racist, misogynistic folk. Because what have we been saying?
They're projecting, Tom. That's what you're saying.
Exactly. Well, not only that, I made the joke yesterday on the show that it's funny that that California acts like the rest of the world's racist when I remember the last big race thing happening in California back in 1992. Yeah, there was an ongoing joke about how racist the cops are in California, especially LA.
Well, Tom, right? once Harvey was discovered, suddenly they could tell us exactly what we should do to live better and not do what they had just been doing 5 minutes ago.
Well, that's the thing. It's this whole thing has been one thing after another, them trying to say, oh, no, we're not racist. Oh, no, we're not sexist. Oh, no, we're not misogynistic. Oh, no, we don't diddle people and all that kind of stuff, when really we know the reality of it all, right? Well, this is them just trying to be the wizard right now, and we all know what's behind the curtain.
What if I
Right.
told you
End of the
it's
day.
even worse?
I believe everything that Beau is saying.
Well,
What
the
if I
whole
told
Harvey
you it gets even
situation,
worse?
it's amazing that they popped out with a whole bunch of names. Oh, like they were rolling on people for the sake of like it was a plea deal or something
Yeah.
like that in the court of public
It
opinion.
kind of was. It was a plea deal in the court of public opinion. Exactly. Thank you, Thank you, Jonas. That's exactly what it was.
Well, Beau is
But yeah.
also posting this. It says Marvel Studios spent millions of dollars on Blade, including full construction of an elaborate train set for an action scene. Despite this, no footage was ever shot, and after discarding multiple directors and scripts, the project is effectively canceled. Now, that's no surprise, but Beau DeMayo tying it to what appears to be a claim that the entire company is filled with horrible, horrific people. Well, that's a new one. The idea that Blade couldn't get off the ground because of anti-woman, anti-black voices inside Marvel. I mean, you talk about going after somebody. Beau DeMayo is on a mission to take down Kevin Feige. I can't see it any other way. And he may be right in doing so. He may be wrong in doing so, but he's doing so. Bash, is this the way you read it as well?
Yeah, I definitely read this. I mean, it's quite it's quite startling, quite surprising. It's interesting how he's keying in on Blade, which obviously has a racial component to it, I suppose. Even though the character just happened to be black, I think more often than not, at least in the eyes of many fans. This is just it. If you want to burn bridges and really set your career on fire, I guess this is exactly what you do, because I don't know what studio is going to be wanting to take somebody like this on if he is so disparaging to his their former employer. I'm not quite sure about this strategy. It's a bold one, Cotton. Not sure it's going to actually pay off there.
It's a bold strategy, but he's got a point. A company that's pushing a lot of diversity can't get a black, like the most famous black comic character, off the ground.
That's a fair point. Right, and it was weird how they didn't go with Wesley Snipes. It's weird how they went into this completely different direction. The amount of rewrites. I mean, Tom. The backstory behind this Blade development is just mind-boggling. How many people they actually went through, how many script revisions they actually pulled through. Even the lead actor was like, "Oh, I don't know about this whole thing." I mean, it is absolutely wild how much of a screw up that actually was for the company.
I mean, even if he's exaggerating and being a bit hyperbolic, you got to imagine that this is a big part of the conversation, or this was a big part of the problem, because I'm going back to 1997 in my head, and I guarantee you that the conversation at New Line Cinema was, oh, we've got Blade, we're going to do this. The first question on everybody's mind is, well, we're going to go after Wesley, we're going to go after Denzel. They didn't care if it was black or not. It was just, well, who's the better choice, or who's going to say yes?
Yeah.
Who's going to be cheaper? Who's going to fit the role better? They didn't give a then. This is the most, sorry about the language, but this is the biggest slam dunk you have. And right after Deadpool and Wolverine comes out, and you got Blade coming out there saying there's only been one Blade and there's only ever gonna be one Blade.
He's right, and that's why that line landed so well.
So you write a check out to Marash Ali, and you get Wesley Snipes in here, and you make Old Man Blade the movie. You get that thing out by February.
That's
How
a
hard is that?
film.
All of us could write that movie right now.
And there's no reason that needs to even be $100 million.
Exactly.
Budget,
the most
honestly.
expensive part of your budget is going to be sweet talking Wesley Snipes and paying off Marash Ali. That's it. And that's even if you have to at this point, because from what I've heard, this project's been dead for a while because his contract was up. And this is why his lawyer was out there in public, what was it, 6 months ago, saying that he's never seen anything like this ever, where somebody has been this unprofessional as far as getting a movie off the ground. Right, because they were basically saying, I'm paraphrasing, but he went on to say, like, my client has other offers and job offers that he's just sitting here waiting for a Blade movie to start. Right, and Marash Ali is one of the more famous, well-known actors right now. I'm sure he gets tons and tons of offers. Do you think he really wants to sit around and wait all day for Blade to start? At this point, it'd probably be a blessing for him to them say, you know what, I think we're going to go a different direction. He'd be like, finally, thank God, I can go do something else. Because this is just wasted 2.5, 3 years. I remember reporting on this years ago because my buddy, my former writing partner, was possibly going to be one of the people on the writing team because they were talking to Wesley Snipes and he was going to be on the Wesley team. But when that all broke down, he's like, no, it's done. We're not going to be a part of it. They went with this other guy. And the next day or the few days after that is when they had the Comic-Con thing where they announced Marash Ali as the next Blade. basically the same thing they did to Norton with Ruffalo. Only Blade never even got a chance to be Blade in this universe.
Well,
right?
I do wonder, even if Wesley Snipes was a part of the first iteration there, how well that would have actually gone off. Because even, I mean, they couldn't even make it work with Ali, and even Ali said, well, why are you doing the daughter and all this other stuff? I do wonder how that.
And that was what the problem with Wesley was, and that was exactly what I was hearing, is they were insisting that it was going to be the daughter. And he's like, fine, just have me pass the baton. But they didn't want to work with him at that time. Because you guys got to remember, prior to him being in Deadpool and Wolverine, Wesley still had this thing that he was difficult to work with. Well, he's come to terms with that now, obviously, and he's admitted to it. And he even said he didn't even understand why him and Ryan had beef all these years. It was kind of a one-sided beef that he didn't know about, basically.
Yeah, and Patton Oswalt is one of the reasons we all know about.
Exactly, yeah.
What a train wreck. Oh, my. Bro, I can't tell if you're muted.
Sorry, I didn't mean to go off on this long tangent.
No, it's
there,
all good.
We've been talking about this movie for what, 5 years now almost?
Yeah.
Long time.
Yeah.
Long time.
I want to say it was April of 2018, I think it was announced initially, I want to say. Somewhere in there, maybe 19, but yeah.
Honestly, they need to go with a Power Man, and I'm not just because he's black and because he has no energy blasts or anything like that. Power Man, Blade, and I think of Power Man because he's Luke Cage and because Mahershala Ali played Cottonmouth in that and was really good as Cottonmouth.
I didn't hate Luke Cage. I thought it was an all right show.
Yeah, it got a little
okay.
I liked it actually. I think one of the worst parts is when they ended up putting him in the original costume. Took me out of it. But
I don't know if I made it past the first season, but
well, there you go. There you go. And again, Rosario Dawson, forgetting that she was the Phil Coulson of the Netflix Marvel universe in there. There's no reason that they can't just spend a little bit of money, keep your budgets in check, and make things that people will want to show up to the theater. Make it a nerd thing again.
Marvel,
don't try to go for the entire audience. Go for the small portion of the audience that will buy massive amounts of physical media.
You can do this. See, Blade is the way in, right? You do an R-rated Blade film with Wesley Snipes, Old Man Blade, like Pro said, brilliant, right? Then the next thing you do is you get Quentin Tarantino in there to do his dream project of directing a Luke Cage movie. You give him all the money and carte blanche he wants. Who cares if it's X-rated? I want the blaxploitation Luke Cage movie that Quentin Tarantino has always wanted to make.
I'm all for it.
For my own reasons, I can't endorse that. But when I was watching movies like that, I would have loved it. And Blade, in some ways, the Wesley Snipes Blade was kind of like, what if Shaft was a vampire? And that's not what the character was in the comic books.
But you get what I'm saying? Like, you can make a market with these kind of movies, and you could actually get an audience, not just the black audience.
Yeah. These movies you're describing, Tom, especially Old Man Blade, you could make that for $80 million. You don't have to spend the 250,
60, maybe even
300, 400. Like, you don't have to spend these crazy numbers. And then it doesn't have to be a giant blockbuster success. And then we could actually praise Disney. We wouldn't have to come out and say it's a flop because it had to make $500 million or more to break even. So come on. Well, folks, I'll tell you this. Speaking of even, Beau DeMayo is getting even with Marvel, and we're going to pay very close attention to whether or not he continues to have a shot in Hollywood, or whether he gets the Gina treatment. We'll see. Jonas?
No, I was just thinking about the fact that this was supposed to be about Beau DeMayo, and we just went off on everything that they've
sorry
gone
about
wrong
Blade.
on.
Pro. I guess to say
you.
about Beau.
I went with
but
you.
To say about Beau, you're right. The reason why he's going to get work and Gina won't is because of two reasons. He's black and gay.
He hits the quota. He hits the quota.
He hits more quotas, yes.
Yep.
Now, if Gina was lesbian or something like that, maybe. That'd be a different story.
Nope, she gets subtracted for strong woman status.
Yep.
It is such fun getting to spend time together, folks, but we have come to the end of yet another video, well, that makes the mainstream scratch their heads, pull their hair out, and wonder, how is it we continue to do what we do? But you know what we do this for? It's for you. To keep bringing all the knowledge of entertainment, explaining what's going on in Hollyweird each and every day. And you can help us continue on that way by clicking the like button. Share, subscribe, click it, stick it to those algorithms. It's the notification bell. Share this out on your favorite social media platforms, and we would love to have you drop a comment right on down below. Share your thoughts because, well, your thoughts truly do matter, and we mean it. As we get ready to say goodbye, we end with the common refrain. Folks, wherever you are and whatever you're doing, keep learning, keep growing, and keep having fun.
Hey, Floral, guess what?
You put a fork in Pro's microwave again.
No, that was yesterday.
I don't know that what.
Oh, I've decided to give up on torturing Jonas.
What? Why? In the same way the cat sleeps like 20 hours a day, that was like your purpose.
I know, but I've decided there's bigger fish to fry.
Okay.
Like Lorne. I mean, think about it. Everybody loves him. He's a fan favorite, and frankly, he has almost no weaknesses I can find. Except that he's really smart.
So, you want to annoy the one panelist without a single flaw, because he's smart.
Yeah, like that winged statue at that fancy Paris museum thingy. I want to break the one thing that everyone loves most.
So, kind of like the opposite of Rachel Zegler.
Yeah, exactly. And I get to see her all the time at family reunions anyway.
You get to see Rachel Zegler?
Yeah. I mean, she's a total troll. Lives under a bridge, harasses billy goats, the whole 9 yards.
It all makes sense now.
Speaking of which, maybe she'll get me... Okay, call her on my... I'm gonna call her and see if she'll be in the next Indiana Jones. She should be the next Indiana Jones. That'll totally destroy Lord. He loves Indiana Jones.
Oh, that's cruel.
Hey, Rach. I've got a cool idea for you that involves a whip and snakes.
I love that description. It's perfect.
I know, right? Weird, as we always say.